Hi, this is Plain Truth number 32. I've got a few things I want to go over with you kind folks today. First and foremost that's on my mind is the issue of immigration. I don't have anything in principle against anybody from anywhere. If you come to this country legally, fine and dandy. If you go through the proper channels to become a citizen, fine and dandy. You come to this country illegally, don't piss, bitch, moan, and whine about how bad your country is and carry the flag of your country when you're trying to storm our border. If you're carrying the flag of, say, Costa Rica, and you storm our border illegally, then the soldiers that we placed on that border to protect said border can consider it an armed invasion and respond accordingly. You cry and whine about, oh, how they tear gas these poor people. Fuck them. You came here illegally, you get what you get. You're lucky they didn't open fire on you. And if I had been commanding the troops there, I probably would have said, smoke them. You either stop or you get dropped. There's no middle ground. Second, gun control. Don't believe in it, never have, never will. Now there's a movement afoot to have social media scrutinized to take into consideration your past and present posts. And if you're judged to be, I don't know, a danger, you can't purchase a firearm. I say that that's an invasion of a person's personal and private space. The government has no business sticking their nose into your personal life. None. If you're a responsible citizen, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to, because this is America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. Now there's another thing where they're going to start gauging your ammunition purchases and report said purchases to Homeland Security. Another case of Big Brother and governmental overreach. Ain't having it, don't want it, ain't gonna deal with it. It's bullshit. It's a clear violation of the Second Amendment. And it's another case of the liberal democratic overreach sticking their nose into the personal lives of American citizens. I say, fuck them. Now, in terms of the issue over Russia and Russian collusion in the election, I say for the record that if Russia did collude with Trump in the election to defeat Hillary, we owe them a tremendous debt of gratitude, because a Hillary presidency would have been absolutely, completely unthinkable. It would have been a hellish nightmare that we never would have been able to recover from. Hillary belongs in prison or in the ground. She does not belong in the Oval Office, period. In terms of Trump going to try to build a hotel in Russia, over it, don't give a shit, never did, never will, who cares? That has nothing to do with his ability to run this country. Nothing. As he stated in his interview, I'm a businessman. Anything I did prior to becoming president is my business, and it's none of your business. I agree with him. They're also bringing up the dead horse about who Trump has had sex with. Who gives a shit? Where he parks his dick is none of my business. It's none of your business. And considering the fact that he's 72 years old, I think it's a remarkable stroke of luck if he can even get a hard-on. And if he can, God bless him. Who cares where he puts it? I don't. It's none of my concern. The next issue at hand, I think, would be girls in the Boy Scouts. That is utterly, totally, and completely fucking ridiculous. The name clearly says Boy Scouts, not Girl Scouts or 50-50 Scouts. It says Boy Scouts. It is designed for boys who are genetically male. It's almost as ridiculous as boys wanting to join the Girl Scouts. Now, if my son, and I have two, said to me, Dad, I want to join the Girl Scouts, I would say, you're a boy, you're not joining the fucking Girl Scouts, and if you don't like it, then you're no longer my son. Get the fuck out of my house. Next issue at hand, the wall. We need it, build it. Find the money, shit the money, I don't care, steal the money. We need it, build it. Now the last issue, before I get into something that's of personal importance to me, would be General Motors and their desire to close all these plants and screw our brother union members in Canada. GM, you want to fuck the American public by closing these plants, putting all these Americans out of work, then guess what? You need to repay every fucking dime that the federal government gave you in that bailout. Every dime. With interest. Then if you want to close the plants, go ahead. I'm sure that there's other auto manufacturers that would be willing to step up, buy those derelict plants and put them back into operation, put those Americans back to work. So GM, and I personally have been a GM fan most of my life. I've owned Buicks, Oldsmobiles, one Pontiac, a number of Chevrolets, always liked GM cars. But the bottom line is, GM, you fucked yourself. You design vehicles that people don't want. The quality is not on a par with Toyota or Nissan or Honda. You know, the 1970s and the 1980s are over. You need to be building vehicles that are competitive on a world stage. And if they're not, then close your doors. Call it a day. It is what it is. Now, the last topic I would like to discuss with you good people is the passing of George H.W. Bush, our 41st President of the United States. He lost his wife a few months ago, and now he's joined her. I don't know how I really feel about his death. I voted for him when he ran for president. He was the youngest combat fighter pilot in the Pacific Theater during the Second World War. He was decorated. He was head of the CIA, ambassador to China, vice president, blah, 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 blah. There's also rumors afoot that he also headed the CIA hit squad that killed John F. Kennedy. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter because he's with Kennedy, so those two can slug it out face to face. Based solely on the merit of his public service, I'm going to do something that I very rarely do. Godspeed, Mr. President. With that, I'm going to close this episode of Plain Truth Videos. If I don't speak to you again between now and Christmas, have an extraordinarily Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy, and safe New Year, folks. I'm not politically correct, so yes, I do say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. God bless America. God bless our soldiers in the field. God bless our president. And fuck all you liberal Democrats. Have a nice day.